All right, welcome back to the Gene Media Paulcast. Here with Paul. This is Cody. Remember to like and subscribe to the video. Where, yeah, we are.
Is Paulcast going to become a word now that we've done this? Is this going to be Dictionary Paulcast? A series of broadcasts or events where nothing happens for 20 or so minutes and you leave with a mild headache.
A mild headache and a strong sense of dissatisfaction.
I
Came here to learn something. Didn't learn anything. Paul talked about rhubarb pie, and yeah.
Dear Webster's. Dear Wiki. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah, we could wiki that.
Yeah, we'll wiki that.
Yeah, so fire away. Well, Paul's gonna ask a bunch of questions. He's got questions.
I did. I was thinking about this in the terms of forever we were doing these and we never really talked about what Gene Media really does. We said it in passing, but mostly it's free tutorial tips or just our views and quirks on why music is so much fun. But what I wanted to ask was, say, like Cody wrote a business plan for our band, and I wanted to go through this business plan just to see what does paying the subscription, what kind of services do I get? Like, do I get riders? Is there going to be a case of beer next to my drum kit? Is there going to be like young Taiwanese women sent up to the hot tub? Do we get a hot tub?
Do we get a hot tub?
But I don't really.
You guys, yeah. Did you guys want a hot tub?
I didn't want the young Taiwanese women either. You know what? I prefer the beer at the drum kit. If I actually got to choose, I would just some beer at the drum kit. I'd be the worst rocker ever.
Oh, and what drummer doesn't want a case of beer beside his drum kit?
Yeah, I think that's where we're at.
Yeah, well, the thing about it, it's kind of different for everybody. So like, we put that together based on kind of what we needed or what we could have done to further the cause of the band. Problem was, I was in the band, so it was kind of my vision for like that, and then you guys,
so
kind of there. So like it was hard to do that. But basically, what the plan was we're gonna come in here on like kind of like a monthly like subscription kind of thing, and we get our jams, we get the our 1 day a week that we had, and we get our we start getting our projects together. We write all the songs, and we kind of write them in the studio as we record them, and then we get we do that. We pair that with some nice stories and photos and videos to share with you guys who are watching this right now.
Lori Lynn. It's Lori Lynn, isn't it? Anyway.
Maybe. It's a handful of people. Anyways, but, that goes out, that gets grown, that gets paired with a very complicated and convoluted marketing plan that goes out on the internet in order to help gain people's attention and hopefully, build up some momentum with some regular content and cool stuff, and tell the stories, expose the dynamic of the band. And we get rolling that way.
So then that's when most people look at it as a creative studio and they're thinking production. What you just listed, a huge chunk of that wasn't production. That's like marketing and publicist work.
Yeah, well, it was like artist development.
Yeah, that's
right?
You're kind of above it though, but that's the thing.
We got a band and a group with a dynamic that doesn't have the most experience in the studio. It's like not trying to do it professionally or anything. But we could, but, and it was a question of like pursuing that on the level of that. If that makes sense. No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. But that's like when let's say I didn't know you and didn't know what was going on. I find your website. I'm basically gonna wonder if you probably have all this listed and itemized, but
well, maybe. But it's at this point right now on September 2019. The message might be confusing because. Different things for different people, right? The band needs development and to learn how to launch an album, or at least I thought so.
So more of a changing plan, depending on
customized.
Making
the person comes in here needs a certain thing, and not everybody needs the same thing. Like some people record their own songs and they can't get their mixes right, so they need help with mixing. Or some people have already mixed their song as best they can. They're fairly happy with it, so they just need mastering.
Yeah, it's not just entirely laying down tracks and mastering.
Yeah.
It could be different, and you could kind of, you're willing to be flexible and kind of work with, I imagine
Absolutely.
You consult with them and work through a plan for them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you and I have been talking for years, so I kind of have an idea of what we're looking at.
What we would make, that's right.
Yeah,
you could really draw that up.
Yeah, if you turned around and said, oh, I want to do a solo project now, or I want to, do this or whatever, could you pull in this singer for me? So, because I don't sing. like, yeah, I could try and make that happen. I mean, sure, if, but because, and the reason why for me is why I'm doing it this way is because I haven't found like a specialty yet. I'm kind of doing as much as I can to get a feel for the, where am I most effective at being able to, give the artist what they need, or what they really want.
Yeah, very concise.
Yeah.
That's, I guess I'll just go back and quit my band, Genesis, and start a solo project, Leviticus. Take that, Phil Collins. No, I'm not doing that, but no, that works out really good.
Yeah. So like maybe the question I would have to ask is like, if there was no limits, then where would you see yourself, at the end of this? Right, whatever that means to you. So you're looking to do a project, or you're looking to hire the studio or whatever. I'm not trying to make this a shameless plug. We're just talking about the
No,
subject.
we've never talked about it.
So,
That's why I wanted to do this. Because
yeah.
another question is, you kind of have a monthly rate, and you kind of go through what you're going to do with somebody, and you go through your consultation and what your plan is. What if I was more dedicated and more hard up, and I wanted to expand? Would it be like more like overtime, extra hours, or would I just be able to buy more time? Like, what if I wanted, instead of 1 day a week, I wanted to buy 2 days a week? And this is working on schedule permitting. Like, if you could fit me in for another day, can I do that? Could I buy another day?
I don't see why not. Again, like, it depends what you need. So you need an extra day for, bring somebody in or do whatever. Like, it's X amount of hours as a base, right? So I'm putting in, your session time plus your mixing and stuff and doing all that. And then, suddenly you double the workload. Well, I guess we got to factor that in. But yeah, everybody's situation is different, because maybe it's just like, I need a.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
but
the way I would probably approach it is, this, like, do it as like a package deal, right? You get this package.
Yeah.
And then it contains this stuff, and then I'll deliver your mixes or whatever once a week, or something, and get your feedback and make sure everything's all hunky dory, and then move forward the next week at kind of the same thing.
So if I know that you have a plan or a band agreement. It's an agreement. It's not contractual, but you do have some paperwork.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's that, and it's not the same for everybody too, right? It's
so
it's got to be custom based on what you need to do.
So we could discuss something like, if I was in a 2-man project and my good buddy Eric had to go back to Iceland and I stayed here, if, like, God willing, you could make it work through Skype, or we could still keep transferring things, we could make something, you could fit in some kind of adjustment if I had to. Because one thing with musicians is everything is fine until it isn't fine anymore.
Yeah.
And often they move or they leave, and like somebody like me who won't let a project die, if I wanted to and continue to pay and continue to keep it organized, could we keep it open-ended? Could I continue to get...
Yeah, like, I don't see why not. Like, let's say Eric goes back to the old country, and he took his laptop with him, and he's got his interface and his microphone, and he just starts laying down tracks and emailing them to me. And we do like a Skype call, once a week, once a month, whatever time permits, and level of commitment of everybody and stuff. So,
which you do already, don't you?
Yeah.
You already collaborate with musicians in different parts of the world.
Yeah. Well,
so,
and even if we're not like working together all the time, I always, check back in with them once in a while and be like, hey, things still good? Where you at? What's going on?
Yeah, I think that's important for artists out there, particularly all three of them watching this, is they need to know that, like, these developments, always there's something that can upheave your band. But as long as everybody can still centralize something to you, you can still master and mix it.
Yeah.
Even without us physically coming to this building.
Yeah, as long as it's not like...
not done in a bathroom on a MP3 player recorder. Like,
you could do that, but your quality is going to go down.
And the price just went up.
Well, yeah, it just means that during our calls, I'm going to have to maybe coach you a little bit on how do you get the best recording out of your iPhone.
And how in your bathroom, yeah.
Yeah, in your bathroom when you're doing vocals. I mean, maybe you put some towels up over them, cover all the mirrors and all the hard walls to soften up the tone a little bit, or maybe you, yeah.
Yeah, no, but
things to that effect,
flexible.
right? It's flexible, and it's based on what the needs of a particular person is, because everybody's different. Everybody's got time constraints. Some people are finishing up their GED and getting their educated. Getting her educated.
I done
Okay.
write these things down, and now I work in the craft inner mines.
Yep.
No, that's good. I feel like you covered everything, or like, well, not
Well,
everything, but
not
you were
everything,
really, it was
yeah.
really concise. Those are a bunch of questions that I had wanted to ask.
Yeah, that's basically it. Go visit the website. And
I'm
find out
gonna
more.
go look at the website.
Yeah, we're well, is that it?
Well, I mean, I would say for this one, I've got a lot of things to say in the future, but as for now, until Webster or Wiki get back to me on the word Paulcast, I'm expecting to be sued by Paul McCartney.
Yeah, well, it's because podcast is taken, and podcast is from iTunes and the RSS feeds and stuff that are associated with them. Since we're not really subscribed to that yet, hopefully someday we'll get this into audio form up on podcast so that people can actually listen to this in its true form instead of looking at our ugly mugs.
I may be rat-like in appearance, but I make up with it with charm and charisma.
Yeah, so the next thing is we're still broadcasting. So
Yeah.
here's Paul, hence